Hello, guys. Welcome to today's mid-program success interview, where I'm joined by Fergus. Fergus has actually been working with me now for about 10 weeks. So it's less of a mid-program success interview, and we're more actually towards the back end of his experience in working with me. So, Fergus, before we jump into anything else, can you just give the guys watching a quick introduction into who you are, where you're from, what do you do, etc., and then we'll get rolling.
Yeah. So good afternoon, guys. So I'm Fergus. I've been working with Ryan, as he says, for 10 weeks now. Um, I've actually transitioned quite a bit recently from a full-time sales role, where I was a sales director, running public and private sector teams, the old 9 till 5, into working for myself as a content writer for tech founders, also doing raising for startups within the Web3 industry. So huge change on my part. Sort of came to Ryan because, as with everything, once you change something, you need to really plan how you do stuff and get yourself far more organised than I've been before. And I also felt it was time to work with somebody because I'd a bit lost the joie de vivre, the raison d'etre for why I was doing things. So I wanted to get fit, I wanted to get organised, and I realised it was more than just diet. It was mindset, it was the fitness, and it was more things that were required.
Nice, cool, thanks, man. So,
Mm.
um, first of all, can you just give us a summarization of what has your experience been overall over the last sort of 10 weeks in terms of what you've worked on, the in terms of goals that you've been working on, and the outcomes and the actions, etc.
Yeah, so working in sales for the majority of my life, I'm incredibly cynical about certain things. So this was quite a big step to work with somebody like Ryan for me. So the goals that I wanted really were to improve fitness. I wanted to lose some weight. I wanted to get more organized, and I just wanted to have a better mindset about how I organize my days, weeks, months, etc. So the start of the program I found a bit unusual, slightly uncomfortable, but not in a bad way, because it's a bit out of your zone speaking to somebody such as Ryan in the way that I had to speak to him to get the benefit from the program. You've just got to be honest. One of the lines he used on me was calling out your own bullshit, which was from a previous client of his, I believe. And when you think about that, you really do need to call out your own bullshit to get ahead and get the benefit from this course. So wins have been a more peaceful mind is maybe one of the major ones. I'm more organised how I go about my daily tasks. I'm getting more done than I have done over the past 2 years since joining the course, so that's been great. Weight wise, a bit interesting to start with. I was a bit useless at logging everything, but now that I'm in the program, properly logging what I'm doing, what I'm eating, um, I'm well on the way to my goal weight. So I've lost over 5 kilos, but it hasn't felt like a diet. It hasn't felt like I've had to make drastic choices. I've still been able to enjoy what I do, odd weekend drink and things like that. So that's all been very good. From the mindset piece, yeah, I'm just far more organised than I've been in a long time. And subconsciously, I'm now making choices that I know are far better for me and I feel more comfortable with.
Hmm. Hmm. And what what would you say has been no, scrap that. What would you say you was worried about before starting this? Because I know, well, obviously, we know at least we had a conversation a couple of years ago, and
Mm.
we didn't do anything at that point, and then this time we did. So, what would you say you was worried about prior to starting this whole thing? Because obviously, there's a lot of guys that sit on the sideline, kind of see this sort of thing, but they don't take that leap to have the call or the conversation. So, what would you say you was worried about?
Um, Not particularly worried. It's probably that male pride thing of really I
Mm,
should be able to do this myself. I can get it done because you have the discussion. You know, you go through what's required. You think right. Well, I've talked it through now. I can do this. But the difference is you do again. I'll say the words. You've got to call out your own bullshit because if you're not going to do it, you need somebody to push you. Uh, so for me, it was joining in with. Yeah, we spoke a couple of years ago. I've watched things that you've put out on socials. I've thought, oh yeah, I can see the benefit of that. I can see the point of it. And it gets to that point where you think you've got to do it, or you're just going to carry on in the same vein. Unless you
Mm.
make a change that's a significant change in how you do things, you're not going to get to where you want to. And you're just going to feel pissed off every 6 months, 3 months, whatever it is, at the lack of progress you've made. You'll sit down and you'll talk to yourself for a week. You'll do it for 2 weeks and then it'll peter out. Once you're on a course and working through it, you go beyond being beholden to somebody just to answer the questions. You do start calling out your own bullshit and getting on with it.
Right, mate, perfect. Thank you very much for taking the time out to do this.
Mm.
Guys, if you're watching this and you're resonating with anything that Fergus has said here, or perhaps what Fergus has said and what some of the other guys have also said, if you've seen any of those interviews too, then feel free to send me a message on LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever it is that you have got me, and let's have a conversation.